Ever wondered how your smartphone screen works? A simple touch, a swipe, a pinch, and voila, you're interacting with the digital world in the palm of your hand. It's fascinating, isn't it? How these everyday actions translate into commands that our devices understand and respond to. This marvel of technology, my friends, is the touchscreen, a ubiquitous feature in our daily lives. From smartphones and tablets to ATMs and information kiosks, touchscreens have revolutionized how we interact with technology. They've bridged the gap between humans and machines, making technology more accessible and intuitive than ever. But have you ever stopped to think about how they actually work? How does a simple touch on the screen trigger an action in the device? Well, today we're going to answer these questions and more as we journey back in time to understand the history, explore the intricacies and mechanics, and look towards the future of touchscreens. So buckle up and stay tuned as we delve into the fascinating world of touchscreens. Touchscreens are not a recent invention as many might think. Their story begins in the groovy decade known as the 60s. The first iteration of touchscreens was resistive in nature, a term that might sound a bit technical. But don't worry, let's break it down. A resistive touchscreen was designed with two flexible layers separated by a small gap. When you pressed down on the screen, the two layers would meet, creating a circuit that the system could interpret. This was the basis of all touchscreen technology, and it required a good bit of pressure to work. In the beginning, these touchscreens were not the sleek, smooth surfaces we're accustomed to today. They were clunky, less responsive, and often used in industrial settings rather than consumer electronics. But like all great inventions, touchscreens began to evolve. Fast forward to the 80s, a time of big hair and even bigger technological leaps. Here, we saw the introduction of the capacitive touchscreen system, a game changer. Unlike their resistive predecessors, capacitive touchscreens didn't rely on pressure. Instead, they functioned through the human body's natural conductivity. When you touched the screen with your finger, it disrupted an electrical field, which the system could then interpret. This meant that these screens were more sensitive, more intuitive, and could handle multiple touch points at once. Then came the dawn of the 21st century, and touchscreens began their ascent into everyday life. They were in our phones, our computers, our cars. Capacitive touchscreens with their multi-touch capabilities and sleek design became the standard. And they continue to be the primary technology behind the screens that we swipe, tap, and pinch today. From resistive to capacitive, touchscreens have come a long way, but the journey doesn't stop there. As we continue to innovate and explore new technologies, who knows where the touchscreens of the future will take us? But how exactly does a touchscreen respond to your touch? This is a question that has puzzled many a tech enthusiast. Let's dive into the mechanics of it all, starting with resistive touchscreens. Resistive touchscreens, as the name suggests, rely on resistance. Picture two electrically conductive layers separated by a small gap. The top layer is typically a flexible plastic, while the bottom one is rigid. When you press on the screen, you cause the flexible top layer to meet the bottom layer. This connection changes the electrical current and signals the device to perform an action. The device then calculates the exact location of the touch based on the change in resistance. It's a bit like a game of connect the dots, but with electricity. However, resistive screens do have a catch. They require pressure to make a connection. So, while they are durable and can be operated with any object, a stylus, a gloved hand, even a pen, they lack the sensitivity and multi-touch capabilities of their more modern counterpart, capacitive touchscreens. Capacitive touchscreens are a whole different ballgame. Here, the screen is coated with a material that stores electrical charges. When the bare finger touches the screen, it conducts a small amount of electrical charge at the point of contact. The device then calculates the coordinates of the touch by measuring the change in capacitance at each point on the grid. This is why capacitive screens are more responsive and can handle multi-touch. They're not just looking for a connection, they're sensing a change in electrical properties. This also explains why capacitive touchscreens don't work well with gloves or non-conductive styluses. You need a conductor, like the human body, to interact with the screen. So that's how a simple touch can do so much on your screen. It's all about the magic of conductivity and resistance, working in harmony to bring your digital world to life. Touchscreens have evolved significantly over the years. They've become more than just a flat surface we tap and swipe. They're now dynamic interfaces, capable of providing a more immersive and intuitive user experience. Let's delve into some of the modern advancements that have truly revolutionized touchscreen technology. One of the most significant advancements is haptic feedback. It's something we've all probably experienced but may not be aware of. Haptic feedback is essentially the use of touch to communicate with users. You know that slight vibration or buzz you feel when you tap on an icon or type on a virtual keyboard? That's haptic feedback. It's a game changer as it provides a tactile response, making interactions with our devices more engaging and realistic. But haptic feedback isn't just about vibrations. The technology has evolved to provide more nuanced responses. Think about the feeling of clicking a button, scrolling a wheel, or even the sensation of an object moving across the screen. These are all made possible by advanced haptic feedback, enhancing our engagement with digital content. Now let's talk about another fascinating development: Force touch. This technology takes touch interaction to a whole new level by distinguishing between a light tap and a hard press. Imagine pressing an icon lightly for a preview and pressing harder to open it. This level of sensitivity offers a whole new dimension to touch interaction, allowing for more complex and intuitive navigation. These advancements are far from gimmicky. They've truly transformed our interaction with digital devices. By providing tactile responses and differentiating between light and hard presses, they've made our devices more responsive and intuitive. They've brought our screens to life, making them feel less like cold, unresponsive glass and more like dynamic, interactive surfaces. These advancements have truly transformed our interaction with digital devices. The future of touchscreens holds even more exciting possibilities. Picture this: a world where the screens on our devices aren't just flat, rigid surfaces, but can be folded, rolled, or even crumpled up like a piece of paper. This isn't some far-off fantasy, but a reality that's closer than you might think. The development of foldable screens is already underway, with prototypes being tested as we speak. These screens use flexible materials and innovative design techniques to allow for a wider range of shapes and sizes than ever before. Imagine being able to fold your tablet into a pocket-sized device or unroll a large screen from a small cylinder. The possibilities are endless. But the future of touchscreens isn't limited to just flexibility. Another exciting frontier is the development of touch-sensitive fabrics. These are materials that can detect and respond to touch, just like a conventional touchscreen, but with the added bonus of being soft and flexible. Think about a jacket with a touch-sensitive sleeve that can control your music, or a sofa that can change the channel on your TV with a simple swipe. These innovations have the potential to completely revolutionize our interaction with technology. Instead of being confined to rigid, flat surfaces, touchscreens of the future could be integrated into our clothing, our furniture, even our bodies. We could interact with our devices in a more natural, intuitive way, blurring the line between the physical and digital world. And these are just a few examples of what's on the horizon. With advances in materials science, artificial intelligence, and other fields, the potential for new and exciting touchscreen technologies is virtually limitless. The touchscreen's journey is far from over. It's just getting started. As we move forward into this exciting future, we can expect to see even more innovative and transformative technologies that will continue to reshape our relationship with the digital world. So let's fasten our seatbelts and get ready for a thrilling ride into the future of touchscreens. Touchscreens have transformed the way we interact with technology. We've journeyed together through time, tracing the roots of this innovation, from its humble beginnings to the sophisticated touch interfaces we see today. We've unraveled the mechanics, understanding how our simple touch translates into complex commands, making our lives easier and more efficient. We've explored the cutting-edge advancements in this field, witnessing how touchscreens have evolved from single touch points to multi-touch interfaces, enabling us to perform numerous tasks simultaneously. And we've looked into the crystal ball, speculating on the future of touchscreens, from flexible displays to holographic interfaces that could redefine our relationship with technology. This is the magic of touchscreens, a blend of history, science, innovation, and a touch of the future. Next time you use your smartphone or tablet, remember the fascinating technology that makes it possible.